What up, folks? Welcome to popshotsauce.com. I'm Boston Black. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Today we're going to be changing this ferment into our new sauce, 7-pot sweet hot. And it contains 7-pot reds, Jamaican yellow habaneros, Mayan red habaneros, white habaneros, yellow Scots, orange cayennes, Hungarian carrots, orange habaneros, sweet minis, scallions, ginger, carrots, celery, parsley, and a lime. And of course, we finished it off with our seasoning pack inside. Smells beautiful. Smells wonderful. We got more cam yeast this time than we normally do. It's just broken up on the top layer of water. That said, it looks and smells beautiful. Guess we're just gonna jump right on into it and make it happen. In a second, I'll set up everything. I'll be right back with you. Okay, before we start our process, the first thing we do is we make sure we clean and sanitize everything. Then right before I start shooting, I come back in and I hit everything with vodka and a mixture of vodka and straight up vodka, and just re-sanitize everything to get in our process. So when you look at these implements or glass or whatever, and you see it wet, that's what that is. I sprayed it with vodka. Okay. Now that everything is sanitized, what we want to do is we want to separate our peppers for any ingredients that we are going to juice in the brine. So let's get that started. Again, I'll go ahead and I'll hit this with vodka. Get it set. Go ahead and I'm going to remove my weight. And my bag. My bag got a couple peppers on it. Okay. Now I'm going to take my initial brine and just try to dump out as much as possible. Peppers look beautiful, as always. Try to get this top layer out without dropping off too much ginger. Okay, now that my ginger started coming out, I'm going to make sure I get that and separate it. Just want to separate my limes. Making sure I squeeze it out. Get all of that goodness out of it. Now we get heavy into the separation. As most of what's coming out now is what we would be juicing. Celery. All the ginger. My seasoning pack. I want to separate this. Use it later on in my spiced rubs. Okay, now that we've gotten that separated, we'll go ahead and we'll set up for the juicing process. I'll be right back. We're all set up for juicing. Now this is something you'll only see on this channel for right now. Pretty sure somebody's gonna start jumping on the bandwagon as soon as they see the actual benefits of juicing. The reason we do this, instead of putting all of this fiber into our sauce, no matter what the dry content of peppers that we put on a description, none of this goes into the sauce. All of this is reduced down to strictly juice, removing all the fiber, separating all the fiber while removing all the nutrients and the taste into the liquid content, and only the liquid content goes into the juice. Get right started right now. In this process, I'll start first by dropping some hard. Carrots are included in the hard most of the time. Then I'll incorporate the soft. Then I'll come back with some hard to push the soft through. And now you see the magic. Look at this. Just completely dry. Now we'll take this and we'll use it as aromatics for our meals and the dry rub. Now look at this. Look at that. Immediately take this and pour it into our sauce. Pure goodness. Okay. Now set up for part one of our blending process. I'll be right back at you. Okay, now that we broke out the big dog, we'll go ahead and we'll start chopping this down. Now that we got our initial chop, now that we have our initial chop began, we're gonna go ahead and add 2 cups of water, of brine. I don't even know why I called it water. We wanna add 2 cups of brine. Another thing I want to do, I want to check my pH on my brine. Okay, we want the pH to be between 3.3 whatever and 4.4. 4.4, according to the FDA, anything below that is shelf stable. And that's where we need the brine to be at. My brine is registering 3.9. Now we'll check the pH again once we actually finish the sauce, just to make sure it's still stable. But if the brine is 3.9, everything that's in the brine is 3.9. Lord have mercy, am I about to fuck up? Okay, now we're ready to rock and roll with part 2 of the blend in our Ace Instapot blender. We are literally sitting on 2 liters. So we're gonna take a little bit more than 2 liters. So we're gonna take 1 liter and we're gonna put it in here. And we'll wait on the other liter to do it afterwards. Pour it in. We'll go ahead and we'll start that blending process. Okay. What we're doing today is we're going to do a combination of white balsamic, then bring it, of which, let's say, we'll do about 2 ounces of that. And then we'll do 4 ounces of just white wine vinegar. No. Take that back. We're gonna do 6 ounces of white wine vinegar. Now we're going to take a half a teaspoon of xanthan gum and add it to the mix keep it from separating once it's in the bottle. There'll still be some separation. You'll still have to shake it before you use it, but this will help to reduce that. Okay, now what we want to do is check the consistency of it. See if it's where we want it. I think it is. Looks beautiful. Smells phenomenal. I'm gonna go ahead. Now, the best way to check your consistency is to simply pull it up. This is where I like my sauces. Now my neighbor say it's too thick because he can take it and he cut it and make 2 bottles out of my 1 bottle that he buys. So he says I'm just giving it away. But this is just how I like my sauces. Yeah. You're gonna taste it. Okay. Here we go. First thing I do is lick my lips. I don't even know why. Consistency is definitely there. Tastes phenomenal. They always taste phenomenal. Heat's there. Slowly creeping up. I mean, you get an instant medium heat in the top of the throat, forward. And now that I'm licking my lips, now it's beginning to burn on my lips. Your whole tongue. And then it just creeps, and continue creeping up. But it's nice. I think that I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of brine in it. Take that back a 1/2 cup. Okay, now we're done with the mixing. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start our pasteurizing process to stop the fermentation. We're already shelf stable, but we do the pasteurizing process to just eliminate the possibility of pressurizing the bottle once it's shipped. So we're going to pasteurize it, bring it up to 165 degrees, and then we'll add our freshly picked and freshly dried Scots bonnets, yellow Scots, and orange cayenne. We'll get that going right now. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and check our temperature with our thermometer. Technically, it's reading 165. And it is 164.7, 64.8, 65. Okay, now that we've reached temperature, what we want to do is I want to add half of some freshly picked and freshly dried Scotch bonnets, yellow Scotch bonnets, and cayenne orange peppers. Just want to add that. So I want to add half of this. About half. We blend it out. Okay, we're almost done. We're going to give it one more taste before I bottle, just to see if everything is the way I want it. I'm pretty sure it is. Step back. Smells ridiculous. I gotta give it a second to air out. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, now it's perfect. Okay, here we go. Last taste. Nice. The heat gives me pause. It's not overbearing at all, but it's hot. It's a nice spicy. Just a nice spicy blend. That's all I can say. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move on into the bottling process. Everything is always cleaned. When you get your bottles, you have to clean it, hot, soapy water. Inside, outside, the whole 9 yards. Caps and the orifice the same. All of it has to be clean. So we make sure we clean and sanitize it first before we do anything. And by the time I get here, spray it down with alcohol, let it air dry before the process even starts. The only thing I gotta do is I wanna hit this, my funnel, and then we're gonna get this bottling process started. So first thing I do in my bottling process is I remove my sauce from the heavy jar into something that's easier to handle. You gotta step back. Okay, go ahead and put the top on this. So now it's ready to rock and roll for the second half. Go ahead and pour alcohol out, hit it with. Now as you can see, I take a measuring cup. I put my mark on it, 5.5 ounces. These are 5-ounce bottles, but it'll fill to almost 6. So I mark it at 5.5 ounces, 5.5. And then I take this, set it down, and I just fill it to my mark. And generally, when I do that, all I gotta do is pour it. And it fill right to the top. Gonna make a mess. We do it again. To the mark. And fill. You want to fill it to the top because right now it's hot. When it cools down, it'll come down. Okay, once you have it done and your bottles are all filled, I'm going to take a paper towel. Spin it around the threads of the bottle, moving to a clean paper towel every time you switch bottle, or a clean part of the paper towel every time you switch to the next bottle. Now you want to take your pre-cleaned orifice, you want to just snap them on. Finally, your pre-clean caps. There you have it, folks. 7-pot sweet hot. Thank you for joining me. Peace.